All right, this is my first official formal life hacks from my new playlist, Life Hacks. Life Haxs. I spell it different because it's more like an axe that hacks through like scrub and like the brush when you hack your way through like a rainforest. You hack it with like a machete or an axe. You spell an axe with an axe. So I'm playing with words and I'm calling it a life hacks with an axe, because you really got to hack at these life hacks. You know, they're not always smooth and easy. It takes some effort, but nevertheless, there are various life solutions, not life wisdoms. They're kind of like clumsy wisdoms, like in the life hack arena. They're like clumsy hacks. Not always clumsy, though. Anyway, this is my first formal one. Deckard's Life Hacks. If you have a cat, like I do, there she is. Say hi, P. Hi, P. Yeah. Peanut. And she likes to go in and out of rooms like closets and bathrooms, which I have doors on those. And you know what she does? You know what she does. She likes to close herself in those rooms by closing the door on herself. She can't get out. That's not really a troublesome thing. It depends on what you're doing. If you get up and go open the door and let her out, that makes her happy. Otherwise, she's stuck. If it's 2 a.m. and you're in bed, though, you're in need of a life hack. And I got one for you. So what I do when I do it before. It's a preemptive life hack, so that when she does close the door, it doesn't close all the way. I put my socks for the day, unless they're really grimy and gross, which they aren't. You know, I can wear socks more than once in a row. Depends on, yesterday I went for a long hike, so I didn't do that. But, socks that are generally clean, but they're not clean anymore. They're not fresh. Put them on the floor. You know how that door, there's a gap between the door, the bottom of the door, and the top of the floor? That little gap, the door floor gap? It's really the floor door gap, if you got to say it right. It's reverse alphabetical, floor door. The floor door gap. I put my socks for the day on the floor, in the floor door gap. And that way, when she tries to close the door with her paws, she likes to lean up against the inside of the door and close herself into the room. That door only goes, a few inches before the sock stops the door from progressing further towards the close of itself. And she doesn't lock herself in the room, bathroom, closet, whatever. Mostly closets. I got a fair number of closets. Anyway, that's my life hack. Just put those socks down there, and then you can pick them up in the morning if you want, or if you're a bachelor like myself, you can just kind of leave them in the closet. I just leave it there. She likes to play with the socks too. Sometimes it's a win-win, really. If the socks were to smell, I wouldn't use those smelly socks. And if you're desperate, I've got a whole bunch of old socks that are clean, but they're no longer worn. I put them in one of my closets, my supply closet, for dust rags. So if you're going to use one of those socks for dust rags, they're clean. They don't smell. They haven't been worn in years. They have a hole in them maybe, or they're just old and they don't look as white as they should have. You put them in your storage closet because you use them as dust rags sometimes when you got to go dusting. I got a lot of those. So take one of those pair out and put a sock. I usually use 2 socks. I use a full pair per door, just in case. Because the worst thing you want to happen is feel like you got that life hacked, like you hacked that part of your life. You hacked it. It's solved. It's not a problem anymore. And you go to bed all confident. And then you hear that meowing and she wakes you up. You hope she does. She'll wake you up at about 4 a.m. because she locked herself in there because you only use 1 socks instead of both socks. The life hack includes two socks, a full pair. You got to put in the floor door gap. Anyway, that's a 5-minute life hack. Deckard Life Hacks. Keep hacking at it. It'll work. And I'll see you in the next life hacks. All right. Thanks for watching. Good luck. If you have a dog, I'm not sure it works. But if you have a cat, it'll work. It works for me. It's been working and working. All right.